Hannah, I have to do a Greek mythology project for school, but all I know is that Greek mythology is the collection of myths and legends of the ancient Greeks. Can you help me?
Sure. I know that Greek myths attempt to explain the origins of the world and detail the lives and adventures of a wild variety of gods, goddesses, heroes, heroines, and mythological creatures.
Oh, look what I found on the computer. It says here that the Greeks loved to tell stories about the magical family who ruled the heavens. The Greeks truly believed that their gods could interfere in their lives or help to control them.
Oh, I remember one of the gods. It was Zeus. Zeus was the king of all gods. Zeus had 2 brothers and 3 sisters. When their father died, the boys, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, divided the world up between themselves. Zeus took all of the heavens, Poseidon took the sea, and Hades took the underworld.
Oh, right, Zeus. We learned about it in first grade. Zeus had more powers than anyone. Zeus could throw his voice and sound like anybody. He was a shapeshifter. In fact, he was so good at shapeshifting that he could shapeshift into the form of an animal. And he could also...
Oh, I found one of our first grade papers about Zeus and his wife Hera. It says here that Zeus had a quick temper, a big sense of humor, and lots of girlfriends.
Oh, and he wasn't afraid of anything except Hera, his wife. Oh, Hera was married to Zeus. She was the queen of all gods and apparently the goddess of marriage. She looks pretty in this picture I drew of her.
Hera was very jealous of her famous and powerful husband, Zeus.
You don't say. Oh, here, let's just scroll down the page a little. It says that Poseidon was the lord of the sea. His brothers were Zeus, the king of all gods, and Hades, the king of the underworld. Wow.
Oh yeah, and also says here that Poseidon was a good-looking fellow. He had deep blue eyes and streaming green hair. He was a restless fellow, always on the move.
Poseidon was very powerful. He could raise his hand and a new island would appear. Oh, and it says in the next paragraph that the Greeks were terrified of Poseidon. Wow, imagine having to raise an island every time you raised your hand.
Hey, aren't you supposed to be typing this?
Oh, yeah.
All the Greeks brought special gifts to the temple every day, hoping to keep him happy. Wow, that's sad, being so terrified of your...
Eek. Should I add that last line?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no.
Don't do that.
What do you mean by? I'll just go to the next paragraph. So, Hades and Zeus were brothers. Hades had a seat on Mount Olympus, where all the gods lived, and Hades didn't live on Mount Olympus, and he was happy living it because he was happy living in the underworld. Don't you leave. I thought he was Lord of the Dead.
No, dummy. Hades was not the Lord of the Dead. His job was to run the underworld. He was a good ruler. Parts of the underworld were very nice, like the Elysian fields, where heroes dwelled after they died. Parts were not so nice. Those were for people who were not so nice during their lifetime.
Ares was the son of Zeus and Hera. His father was king and his mother was queen. Ares was tall, handsome, mean, and self-centered. His sidekick Ares, the spirit of disagreement, traveled everywhere with him. They carried 4 spirits along as well, the spirits of pain, panic, famine, and oblivion.
In Greek mythology, Ares did not care who won or lost a battle. He just liked to see bloodshed. Most of the other gods stayed as far away as possible from Ares. He only caused trouble.
Zeus was the king of all gods, and Hermes was Zeus's youngest son. Apparently, Hermes was born mischievous. Zeus wanted Hermes to have an important job in the world of Greek gods. Hermes was fast on his feet and very clever. Zeus decided he would make a wonderful messenger.
Things were always going good in the mythical world. The job of a messenger to the gods allowed Hermes to have the inside scoop on just about everything. It is no wonder that there are probably more myths that include Hermes than any other god. Hey Diane, I found two other gods. They're twins. Apollo and Artemis were twins. They were the magical children of Zeus and Leto. The twins, Apollo and his sister Artemis, adored their mother. Apollo especially was very protective of his mother.
Artemis was the daughter of Zeus and Leto. She was Apollo's twin sister. Artemis was very different from her brother. It took a lot to get Apollo angry. He was usually pretty gentle and full of warmth. But Artemis was nearly always cold and pitiless. Oh, and also the only thing that Artemis loved beside her family were her floppy-eared dogs. Oh, and Artemis was the goddess of the hunt and the goddess of the moon.
Here's one more that I found, Diane. Hestia was the goddess of health and home. Hestia was deeply honored by the Accident Greek women. Every day when the women gathered in the central courtyard of their homes to do their sewing and cooking, they knew that Hestia was keeping watch of them.
Oh, and I'll do the rest of the gods on my PowerPoint.
Don't forget about your diorama!